So I'm just wondering, with all these new laws, did I pass the pub test? So we had recently an incident in Bondi where 2 people used unlawful, supposedly 6 guns, and unlawful. So, and now the government makes new restrictions for the supposedly safety of our community. And then we hear ministers, Apashu ministers, stating today we introduced new gun laws and hate speech laws. And then they state 4 million guns and 6 out of them were used. So, in context, 6 out of 4 million is 0.000015%. So 6 out of 4 million is 0.000015%. So we're making now laws for an incident of 0.0015%. Did it pass the pub test? What do I mean with it? So we have to go back and think, where does the parliament, our government, gets the authorization to make laws from? That's in the constitution. And the gun laws is regarding to falls under the authorization of the national defense. But you also have to think, each prohibition from the or authorization from the constitution says the parliament of the Commonwealth, or similar words, can make laws regarding to peace, order and good government. And then the subsections under which criteria for lighthouses, medical use or defense of Australia. So in regarding for a law to be passed and be lawful, this law has to be beneficial to the peace, order and good government. So the question is now, how is the new restrictions or eliminations of guns regarding to peace? Yes, no guns, no shooting. Did it work? Obviously not in the past, but it's another subject. But is it peace to restrict 99% of the gun owners to just because 2 people used it illegally? One, I don't even know that he had a license, so he just used the gun and was not restricted because he wasn't signed up. So to create peace, we limit the peace of the rest of the people. They are law abiding, using guns as restricted. So these peaceful people now anxious, scared, losing their possession. Is this a peaceful law? It's up to you. To making order. So if 2 people out of 4 million, or if 6 guns out of 4 million people, I don't know how many people have gun licenses, are out of order, is this out of order? Do you create more order on restriction? I think the order already existed because we hardly have any incidences. And then is it good government to punish the majority of the people for two people? I think we can look either way, but we come to the conclusion that it doesn't pass the pub test. It's not a peaceful law. We have so many people, supposedly 1.5 million or 2 million people, making opinion from 1 or 2 days, complaints to the ministers and saying they shouldn't sign up. So 2 million is over 5% of the population. And this in 2 days, I think it's a major highlight that people are not happy with the law. So it's not good government to punish people. And when you think under the authorization where they make the gun laws, it's under the defense of the national safety. So forbidding people to having guns is meaning the government doesn't want us to be defensive. They want to get our defense away. Is this good government? In one hand, yes, we're safe, but if you think, so at least one what I know of the 2 gun operators in Bondi had a gun license, and at least one was on the watch list. So we have safety mechanism. They're working because we're aware of that it's happened. But with all this knowledge, it didn't stop it. So the question is, do we have enough laws? Yes, we have enough information where we could prohibit it. Or are our government incapable of using this information and enforcing the law that we already have? So it's not a question of having more laws and restrictions. It's more questions of enforcing the law that we already have. I don't think these laws passing the pub test or even the qualifications of making a law. The need is not established, and then when you see who passes or makes the law, it's supposedly the Labour government. You often hear the Labour government or the Albanese government or the Allen government in Victoria introducing new laws. You never hear the people of Australia, the people of New South Wales, of Victoria introducing new laws. It's all the time one specific party in coalition with another party. Which these representatives, how many people we have? Not more than 200 people in parliament. And 200 from 27 million is nothing. So it's not a people's decision of Australia. It's a decision from a minority group where we elected. And they decide on our behalves, which obviously a lot of people are not aligned with. So it doesn't pass the pub test. Now, if you think or imagine we would have a active democratic politics decision making in Australia, not a passive where we elect some people, they're speaking on our behalves, should speak on our behalves, they decide over us. We elected them, we're hoping they represent us, but in reality they represent an ideology of a certain group of their party. And if members of their own party are crossing the bench and voting for something else, they get punished from the party. So it's not the people. And if you imagine you have an active democracy, which is meaning the people are deciding what's going on. Imagine the legislation would be a referendum. And people had to vote for it. Would it be the same outcome? Or wouldn't even go through? This is active when people make decisions. And then it would be democratic because you get the opinion from everyone or his vote. So does the law, any law, passes the pub test, passes the qualification to make the law? Is it for peace, order and good government? If it compromises the majority of a subject where the law is regarding to, which they are law abiding, is it good government to punish everyone for the misconduct of two? And then I just briefly read another shooting happened. So I just looked through and then, I don't know the whole context, but I'm putting it now in a context and using it as an example. So it might be true or not. So supposedly someone ran away with a car and potentially run over police. And the police feared for their lives and shot into the car. So that's what I got out of the story. I don't know the background. So, according to law, you're innocent until proven guilty. So we presume this person is innocent. This person ran away. He feared for his life. He was scared that he got shot by the police. And to do so, he drives straight. And then the smart police stands in front of the car to stop them. So, as a kid, I learned to stay away from the curb, otherwise you get run over. So how qualified are our police to try to think? So you have to think, this police stands in front of a car because they think it's a criminal. And they think the law is by them. But if you're realistic, a criminal doesn't abide by the law. So in first instance, they think he didn't abide by the law. Why should he then abide by the law and stop driving over them? So it's reckless behavior from the police. What is the normal conduct in a car chase? To my understanding is, if a police car chases a car and sees danger of the public, they will stop and let the car go to stop further damage or casualties. But when the police stands in front of the car trying to stop it, I don't know, that's just stupidity. And then they're shooting the car because they're thinking they're harming it. So if we introduce gun laws, then we should also introduce the usage of gun from either side, from government organized departments like the police. There should be more control. So we have now the means. If we have smart police, if they can find killers and whatever, then they will be surely find out where this person is going to and arrest him in silence without any casualties. And we hear now more and more casualties suing the police, enforced or caused by the police, and they should supposedly help you. Could it be dealt differently? Yes. Sensible, let him go away and catch him later. He was fleeing he didn't want to cause harm. He was scared of his life, which he has a right to. It doesn't matter that he's guilty or not. You still have a right to self-defense. Was it the right measurements? No, but if he couldn't go any other way, and obviously he was right to be scared of the police, because in the end the car got shot. So that he had reasons to run away? Possibly. Was it right? No. But if he was scared? Yes. So that's another side story. But if you introduce laws, you just can't focus on one thing. You have to please the whole nation. Is it safer for the populations? I don't know if you lose guns. Because obviously we have so many guns and hardly any incidents. And then you have to take in the possibility, could be the possession of a gun prohibited or eliminated the whole incident. So is prohibiting guns or making it harder for people to have guns benefiting the whole situation, or is it harming the whole situation? You have to take this in account too. So question yourself, does any law passes the PUP test? Is it for peace, order and good government? Love you all. Stay truthful and peaceful. Cheers.